Now in our 6th year, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey everybody, it's Alex and it's the Ramble. Yes, and we go until midnight tonight here on the East Coast of the United States from New York City. New York, New York. The city's so nice they named it twice. Okay? Let me see here. We gotta go to let me see. Are we there? Okay, I think we're ready to go here with our guests that we usually have on Tuesday. Let me see here. Let me get rid of this. There we go. Every now and then you'll see me turn stuff off up on the screen here, which is ridiculous. Anyway, hello. It's Phil.
I got my heart into this one.
Yeah. Tell them what happened. I was worried about you.
Well, I'm very fortunate. I got so many people just like you who wrote me and called, and they were worried. Maybe they thought they were in my will, But I'm very blessed to have all the people that were concerned, and that included many of them from the Ramble, and I want to thank them for that concern.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago, I wasn't feeling that well, so I thought that, and I was getting short of breath doing when I would exert myself. So I figured, all right, well, maybe I've got another heart thing going on. So I went in for a treadmill. Treadmill said, yeah, something's not right. So then they decided.
So then they said, go get a Peloton.
Yeah, really. Yeah. I need something to hang laundry on. I've had some of those things.
Yeah.
Anyway, it said there was an anomaly. So then they set up another treadmill with contrast, but that wasn't for another couple of weeks. Well, I wasn't feeling well, and this was shortly after I had the second COVID shot. And so my dexterity, I woke up in the morning, I couldn't hold anything. I would drop stuff.
Some people are having that effect.
Yeah, and I had some memory issues. Yeah. I actually, either my biorhythms were really off or, I was having memory issues, definite memory issues. And I didn't want to talk to anybody because I couldn't remember what I was saying. So I left work early. I was there alone, and I closed the store about 2 hours early. And I went to the ER, and they did some tests on me. They said, no, you didn't have a heart attack. You didn't have a stroke. We'll do the test. We'll do the contrast test. So they moved it up a week, but they kept me there overnight. So in ICU. So at that point, they did the test, and they said, yeah, the test is showing something. So they set up an they set up an angioplasty for me. The guy on Friday, they did the angioplasty. I got in there at 6 a.m, and they had me on the table in about an hour and a half. Very efficient. And they stick a wire in an artery. Yeah. And they run it up to your heart. Right. It's got a camera on it, and they stick some dye in there. And the guy says, hey, there's no change since the last time you had an angioplasty. Everything's open. Everything's fine. And your stents are doing well. So, I was happy to, talk to my stents.
Yeah.
So I was home by 2 p.m.
Yeah, I just don't you feel though that you kind of, what can I say? How can I put it? You kind of feel like your time has been wasted because it came to nothing.
No, I checked out what I thought it was. If you don't check it out, then you're always wondering if something's wrong.
Yeah.
So I checked it out. It's fine. I made some commitments that I didn't want to lay on that table anymore, so I would improve my diet and maybe start
Oh,
exercising.
yeah, sure. Sure.
You know?
Sure. Sure.
I went for a walk yesterday.
Oh, good. I can't walk anymore.
You can't walk?
I can walk, but my bottom of my feet hurt a lot.
Yeah.
And it's not from the neuropathy. I think it has to do with plantar fasciitis or whatever. And I went to walk down to the store today. I come back. I haven't walked in so long that I'm exhausted after I walk 2 blocks. You know.
I guess it's a perishable thing because, you know, you have to build back up to it. So, you know, people are saying that, yes, I had the COVID shot a couple of days or 3 days or so, before, the last one before this episode. And then I read somewhere that other people are having those same reactions to the second COVID shot. And I feel great.
Marjorie felt she was all achy and everything, and she didn't feel well the next day. I was okay. What I heard today was that women have a harder time with the second shot than men do.
Yeah.
Okay. So she was feeling all those things. I felt a little achy in both arms, and you know, I felt the normal ache in the arm from the shot, you know, but otherwise I didn't, it was fine, you know.
That's all I had from the second shot was the normal little ache in the arm.
Right.
But, and it was several days later that I had these complications.
It can happen.
Really
It can happen.
That they're COVID shot related.
Well,
but talking about COVID, I have a friend and an employee that last night his mother died in an assisted living facility. The mother was in the facility.
Yeah.
She's in her 90s. The owner of the facility would never wear a mask. And she has another facility a few blocks away where one of the tenants or clients or whatever they call them was COVID positive. So she went from that facility, having contact with them, to his mother's facility. His mother ends up getting COVID. Now, she hasn't had anybody from the outside world visit her. My friend had to look at her and talk to her through a sliding glass door. And so last night she passed away.
Oh, boy.
You know, and she passed away alone.
But you know, the stupidity is the owner of this place not wearing a mask.
Of course.
And I think your friend should sue the facility.
Yeah, but what good does that do?
Saying that you were not, if even for yourself personally, engaging in the protocols that have been directed by the CDC, especially for a nursing home.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, that's insane. I mean, probably she got it from the guy who owned the nursing home, or if she didn't get it from him, somebody else got it. Maybe they were not, what can we call it, not active, but still they could spread it.
The wife of the guy that owns the nursing home. And she was a non-mask wearer.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, although the CDC has now said that just about everybody on your panel, including you and I, can meet without a mask.
We can all hang out.
Yeah, because we've had two vaccines.
Right. Exactly. Okay. So we're cool.
We're safe.
We're safe.
You know, according to the CDC.
Well, I mean, you could, for instance, technically, you could come over and have dinner. Okay, and we could sit around and talk and not have to wear masks. That's really what they're saying. They say don't go into any large groups yet. You know.
Yeah. I probably told you that, but I hadn't had the results yet. Last Monday, prior to the operation, I had a COVID test, and I was negative. Yeah. so I'm feeling pretty good, and you know that here I've been working all of this time. I've been wearing a mask, but working with public, and I've been concerned that I'm risking my health for my business.
Well, you're not risking your health though. You've had the second shot. You are how many weeks since the second shot?
It's over 2.
Okay, so
Probably
you are
3.
now 95% protected, and the other 5% that you're not protected, if you did come down with it.
Yes, but from March 16th to the present, I've been working, and
That doesn't
even
matter.
though
I'm saying that at this point, if you come down with it, the
Right.
worst that's going to happen, if the 5% plays out and you get it, the worst that's going to happen is you're going to be, you aren't going to have to be hospitalized, and you're not going to die of it.
Well,
Okay, nobody who has gone through the second shot in the
Has had
entire
it.
country has died from it.
Well,
Okay.
let me ask you this: what is the things that they call when they have drugs that help you, and they don't cure or they don't stop the virus, but it helps you with the symptoms? There's a word.
There's one drug you're talking about that's
Right,
out now
it's
that they say
something
that if you come
chloroquine.
down with it and they give it to you, it will mitigate the circumstance.
Right. It's something chloroquine, but it's not the first
No,
one.
it's not chloroquine. That one was
No. But there's another one. It starts with an M, I think.
yeah. And it's been around for quite a while and it was used for other stuff, but they found that now if somebody comes down with COVID, they immediately give it to him and he won't get full-blown COVID.
Yeah.
Okay.
And whatever that is, that word is, that it's for that kind of drug.
Yeah.
It mitigates the issue.
Yeah. So I mean that's better. It's much better.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, Cuomo seems to be in the news. His book, did they stop?
Now let's correct you for a second. Today was the first day he wasn't in the news.
Why did they hang him?
Probably, I don't know, but they probably took a big sigh of relief on that one. Today, for some reason, they were too busy with all this other stuff, and he just didn't come up in the news. But God, they've been gangbanging him, haven't they?
There was another. I guess today there was another shiny object. I don't know what it was. It might have been Musk's rocket blowing up, or having some sort of issue on landing his experimental rocket. But the Democrats in New York have taken Cuomo's emergency powers away from him. Crown, is it Crown? That's not Crown Books. It was whatever his publisher was. Said that they were going to stop promoting his book and that they weren't going to print any more copies. So that's. Are they going to ask for his Emmy back?
Well, that's right. Here's a point I've got to make here, though.
Yeah.
Nothing's been proven. This is all he said, she said. This is going. First, the sex things are all innuendo.
Well, I didn't.
They're
mention that.
all, somebody saying something happened, but nobody's gone to court. Nobody's had to swear under oath. Nobody's had to take a lie detector. Okay.
I didn't mention the sex things.
Okay. Now the
I'd
nursing
love
home
to.
thing. The nursing home thing
Yeah.
is a serious accusation, but it basically is an accusation. I mean, they have somewhat admitted that they had fudged with the numbers because they didn't want to get in trouble they didn't want the government to get on their case. Okay.
It was his top assistant that outed him.
Yeah. And she's still there, by the way. It's not like she suddenly disappeared.
I don't think they can fire whistleblowers, can they?
DeRosa is her name. I'm trying to remember her first name now. And she's been with him for a long time. Very smart woman. She speaks at the press conferences. And basically, I think that it's really a question of what went on back then. The claim that they're making is that the hospitals did not consider these deaths nursing home deaths. They considered them hospital deaths because they sent them to the hospital and they died there. Okay?
That's part of it. But the other part is where he said he was going to send the people, COVID positive people from the hospitals back into the nursing homes.
Because why, Phil?
Because he didn't want to use the Javits Center or the ship.
No. Because that's what the CDC said to do. That was their guidance. Their guidance was okay. that if a person is in a nursing home and they send them to the hospital and they start getting better, and they are better, okay, you can send them back to the nursing home rather than keep them in the hospital where they have a bigger chance of getting a lot of other infections. Also, staying in the hospital where they're taking up a hospital bed, and at that time, you may remember they were at a premium. So it was the suggestion of the CDC that you send them back to the nursing home. Cuomo has said if any of those nursing homes said we don't want them, he said we would have found other places for them to be.
I remember Cuomo being very adamant and saying, you know what, you have to take them.
No.
And I had said something about it several months.
No, he didn't. He didn't say that. He said you should take them back. According to the CDC, you should take them back. But if you don't want them back, we will find other places to put them on.
One of these days, when I'm not so lazy, I should go back to those earlier shows.
You look. You don't have to. I'm tired of defending Cuomo because, quite frankly, I think he's handled a lot of things. I got to say this about Cuomo. He has great taste in the women that he hits on. Certainly better than the other people who are being accused of this sort of thing.
Blasey Ford, no. Kavanaugh had no taste. Cuomo, on the other hand, he has taste. Now, I think it's terrible if
there were three of them, and I looked at the TV set and said to girlfriend, let's see, marry, fuck, kill.
Yeah, I understand, but the ones I've seen pictures of, they were good-looking women.
Yeah. But anyway, I mean, I just to begin with, to strip him of the powers of, I don't know if have they stripped him of the powers.
Yes, I read they stripped him of his emergency powers. Well, Dextra. Alan wrote me. He says it's dextromethasone.
Okay, something like that. Anyway, the point is, let's get back to this a second.
That's generic for hydrochloric. Yeah.
No, it's not generic for hydrochloroquine. But here's the thing about what went on with them taking away his emergency powers. It takes away from him the very powers he had that saved my life and the life of a lot of New Yorkers. And I think it was stupid of them to take it away. I think that if I were Cuomo, what I would do is I would say, there's an election coming up next year. I'm not going to run. So why doesn't everybody settle down and let me do my job and finish off the last year of my time
I thought he wanted to run. He wanted a fourth term.
No, I'm saying that he should say, I'm tired of this. I'm not going to run for a fourth term. Okay? Well, like I was planning on doing.
Then he's admitting that he was wrong.
No, he's not admitting that he was wrong. He can just say, I'm sick and tired of this. I think I've done a good job. I've tried to do a good job. You're stripping me of the powers that allows me to do a good job. So I'm just not going to run for office again. I'm sick of this. I don't need this sort of thing. He could use that as his excuse, and on he goes,
Well, people have short memories. If he rides it out, there may be a chance in New York. I think Cuomo has a dynasty there. They'd elect him again. From what I've heard is that even though people weren't happy with these new revelations, they would still vote for him.
I think I would. I would probably vote for him. Yeah, I can say that. I just feel that because I do feel, Phil, and I have to say this honestly, the man saved my life.
And you don't think that listening to the CDC about mask wearing saved your life too?
Will you agree with me that in the very beginning we didn't know shit?
No.
Okay, and everything was speculation, and so you had to rely on somebody. And if you were a governor, who would you rely on? You rely on the CDC and their judgment. Unfortunately, and I don't want to get into an argument with you, but the CDC was somewhat under the control of Donald Trump, and the message was being parsed. Okay. Anyway, the point I'm making is that all he knew is what the CDC told him. He had to learn, right, as he went along on this. It was kind of earn while you learn, So he had to learn while he was going along. And it was a learning curve, and it was a horrible learning curve, because all of a sudden he had this onslaught of this disease in the state, and there was precious little he could do about it.
The whole world, Italy, Spain,
Yeah,
France,
yeah.
Germany, they were learning as they went too. But Pelosi
wait a minute,
and
but he turned that curve around. By his messaging, and by the things he did, the kind of executive orders that he made, and so on, and by closing down all the restaurants and everything, and suddenly having this thing a little more under control. And I think by doing that, he saved my life.
When Pelosi said that I should go to Chinatown and I should shop,
forget about Pelosi.
Wait a minute.
Come on. Forget Pelosi.
I would have gone, but I couldn't find a parking space.
I see. Okay. Anyway, the point I'm making here is that that at the time we were working on fumes. We didn't know what this was, how dangerous it was. All of a sudden, every hospital was filled up, every bed was filled up. We were out of PPE. I mean, it was a disastrous situation.
Right.
Something he couldn't have seen coming. Nobody could have seen it coming. Certainly, it would have been good had our former president closed down Europe as well as China, but he had this hard-on for China and didn't realize that the thing could easily come from Europe.
It took a week, and who would have expected China to allow infected people to fly to Europe? That's unconscionable.
Well, I mean, infected people probably flew to Europe before they ever knew there was a real problem.
They locked down Wuhan right away. They said nobody can fly in Wuhan to other areas of China, but they allowed anyone to fly from China.
No, they didn't.
To Europe.
China. But China, you got to remember, Beijing didn't have a single case.
Yeah, well,
so if you flew somebody from Beijing, it would seem to make money. Yes, there it is.
I'm ready.
There's 100 yuan. That's equivalent, by the way, of $20.
It is?
Mm-hmm.
100 yuan?
100 yuan is about $20. I don't know what the current exchange rates are, but when I went there, it was $100. It was $20.
Wow, I thought it was about 8 cents.
Well, you always figure out what a bill like that is worth, so you can, figure out if you're buying something, how much you're paying for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've never been to China, so.
Like this hat was like 50 yuan.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I got 2 hats.
Got 2 hats. Yeah. Yeah. But, all I'm saying is that we were working on fumes at the time. We didn't know what was going on, and neither did he. And I think he did a really great job of administering the whole situation.
He gave hope to a lot of people in New York at a time when they needed it.
Yeah.
And that you can't discount.
Right.
The fact that he's a bully and a braggart and a number of other things.
I'll give you all of that. I've heard all those things about him. That he's a terrible person to work for, But then again, Donald Trump was a terrible person to work for too.
Only the people he fired say that.
Well, no, the people who worked for him in the early days said he was terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, he was not a good boss. Some people just don't know how to treat their people, but and so far as this stuff about he did this with women, he did that with women, come on, let's take a lie detector test. Swear under oath, then I'll listen to you. Okay.
Years ago, it was a different time, and you couldn't, and it was common to have office romances, but in today's world, having an office romance is so taboo, even prior to what Cuomo had done. I mean, no matter how much you wanted to ask someone out that worked for you, you couldn't do it.
Well, you can't do it now. I mean, look, be sympathetic for a moment towards Cuomo. Single guy, right? Obviously wants to date people, wants to have some kind of a relationship, and starts doing small talk that might just be kind of testing the waters to see if the person might be interested.
Yeah, but many of these people work for him or
Hey, that's a big mistake. You never do it. You never put your
don't dip your pen in the company ink.
Right.
Right.
And I made that a really important factor in my job. Whenever I would have a job, I had probably the most gorgeous producer in San Francisco by the name of Christy, just gorgeous,
Never knew her.
sexy, hot. Every guy that would walk in would start salivating. Never once did I ever hit on her because I valued her more as a producer than I would have at maybe some momentary fling that I might
The
have.
closest thing I knew to one of your producers was Joe Rogelski.
Well, I would have never fucked him. But
And you wouldn't have, well, he wasn't the producer, he was the news guy.
and I had newswoman Lori Thompson. We in fact slept in the same bed in Spain, and we never touched each other because I valued what she was to the show, and I realized that if we had any kind of a relationship that way,
Sure, it would change.
It would change the whole nature of the
Dynamic. It would change the dynamic.
Apparently, that was lost on Cuomo,
Yeah.
And I understand why the guy was, say, chatting them up. I think that's the best way to describe it.
You had groupies when you were.
Oh well, those they were fair game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But Cuomo had to have groupies. Now, some of them might have been 90, but, he you're the governor, you're single. You don't think he got groupies?
Well, you become a little suspicious of that sort of thing. You're not as. Anyway, listen, we got a bunch of people that probably want to start talking here. And
Hey, again, I have to say, give a shout out to the people on GabNet. They reached out when they knew that I was having this procedure, and they were so kind and so nice, and I really thank them.
Yeah, and of course, I always
and
worry
you too.
about you. Yeah, well, of course, I worry about you. I'm always thinking about you and your health because you've had several health problems in the last couple of years.
See if I can reverse a few.
Me, I just sit here taking this pill every night, and it just makes me woozy for the rest of the day. But man, is it a great pill!
Yeah.
Anyway, hey, listen, it's always good to talk to you, my friend.
Same here. Thank you for thinking of me.
And we'll see you again next week. Okay.
You bet. Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Phil Meyer. Bye-bye, Phil. There he goes, ladies and gentlemen. There goes Phil Meyer. And he is, we love having him on the show. Okay, now it's time for us to go to our citizen panel. These are the people who call the program, and we're admitting the ones that are there, and more will call us in just a little bit, but let's go over and say hello to them. Let's see here. Who have we got? Oh, where's Charlie Wallace? Oh, he's still attempting to join. He hasn't joined yet. There's Trucker Steve. He's in his truck again, which means he's going somewhere. Where are you, Steve?
I'm in Toronto.
In Toronto. Okay.
Leaving
Where? What?
tomorrow morning.
Are you leaving tomorrow morning?
Nevada.
Okay. All right. And let's see here. Alan, you're at home. And Brian Neary is at home. And Charlie Wallace is at home. And Jeff Stein, you don't have your mic on, but you're home. There we go. There you go, Jeffrey. See? He's just fine, and there's no audio coming back at him, and he's doing terrific. Well, hello, folks. How are you?
Doing
okay. Yeah. Anything to report? Anything new? Anything that you thought about? Just waiting to see if anybody else was going to call tonight. I'm getting a little frustrated with all of this. Some nights like
my second shot will be 2 weeks tomorrow.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. So
my second's tomorrow.
Yeah, so you could come see us. Actually, is what you could do. What happened to? Okay, Jeff. Jeff had a problem there. Let's go to Jeff. Let's get him on there. There we go. I don't know. What happened to you, Jeff? Oh, turn on your mic, Jeff. There we go. What happened?
I'm hearing two people at the same time.
You've got your browser on. Get rid of your browser. Don't get rid of Zoom. Just get rid of the browser, or turn it off, or whatever. By the way, everybody, in case you don't know this, you can always go up to if you're using like a Chrome browser, you can always go up to the browser and say to it, I want to mute this particular tab on my browser, and it mutes it, So just letting people know how it works. Anyway, God, I'm a little tired tonight. I did my pill last night. I'm going to do it again tonight. It always makes me a little. Oh, you see, you got the dog with you. You got Rocky with
There he
you.
is.
There he is. I see his tail. I see his little head peeking up there. Okay, all right, that's good. So anyway, did anybody see my posting that I had up about Pepe Le Pew?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Here they're going after Miss Piggy now.
No.
No way.
Yeah. What's next? They're going after the Swedish chef
Yeah.
because they're making fun of the Swedish people.
First.
I don't understand this. I mean, I'm sorry. Pepe Le
Retarded.
Pew was one of my favorite cartoon characters of all time. And I loved him because he was committing so many rapes. I couldn't believe it. It was wonderful. No. The fact was that Pepe Le Pew was simply an amorous cartoon character.
Was a skunk.
It's not
And
amorous and not
he believed in love. He didn't try to rape anybody. And they say, well, you still got your sound up, Jeff.
I don't know.
Yeah. Jeff, do you have a browser there?
No, I can't get it to work. I'm gonna shut it down and then come back.
Oh, no, but obviously you have a problem because you're watching our YouTube, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, get rid of the YouTube.
Yeah.
Get rid of
shut
YouTube.
YouTube down.
I'll be right over, Jeff, and help you out.
Yeah, if you just
Mute it.
there you go. Oh, well, we lost him completely.
Wasn't Pepe Le Pew a skunk?
Pepe Le Pew was a skunk, and he was an amorous skunk who there was always a cat involved.
He was chasing the cat.
It was a cat, and the cat would accidentally go under a ladder that had just been painted and get a stripe down its back.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Pepe Le Pew would fall madly in love with the cat. And he'd go, I hug you, and I love you, and and he would just be very romantic and, bring them flowers and do things like that. And they say, well, it perpetuated a rape concept. What?
Who?
What? And you know who did this?
Certainly assault.
Warner Brothers. And today, I sometimes go on HBO Max and I go to the cartoons and go through some of them because they're some of my favorites. And I remember at least a couple of weeks ago, Pepe Le Pew cartoons were there. And today, they're gone.
Jeez.
Okay?
What cartoon can they not? What cartoon would they say they're safe? I mean, Yosemite Sam, the redneck's gonna get mad, and I mean, just go down the line of every single cartoon character has some kind of stereotype. That was their character.
Yeah. I mean, how about the violence inherent in the Coyote and the Roadrunner?
Yeah.
But these are cartoons. And secondly, these cartoons were not made for kids. These cartoons were made for an adult audience. The reason they were, let me explain it, is that the features that they came with were all, your Humphrey Bogart movies and whatever the current main film was that the Warner Brothers was sending around. And they would buy a cartoon and they would buy a short subject and sometimes they'd buy what they call a companion feature. And these cartoons were made for a more general audience, adults to begin with. And it really was, to me, I love the Pepe Le Pew cartoons. I thought they were hilarious. I mean, I love the one where a Black Panther gets a stripe down his back from paint. right, and escapes from the zoo and gets a stripe down his back from the zoo, at the zoo, and he thinks, of course, it's a big lady skunk, and every time he goes to make love to this Black Panther, it tears him to shreds, right? But he keeps going back for more, and finally he's like completely just massacred in the last segment of this thing, and just torn to shreds. And then he goes, I think I'm getting to like this. So I mean, to me, those were hilarious cartoons. And it made no sense to me when I read yesterday that Warner Brothers, to begin with, they had a new Space Jam movie coming out, which is probably a bigger assault on the senses than any Pepe Le Pew cartoon. But they did another Space Jam movie, and they had Pepe Le Pew in it, and they excised him from the film. And then I went to look to see if they still had them on the Warner Brothers cartoon section on HBO Max. And he wasn't there anymore. Yes, Charlie. Yes, Charlie. You had your hand up.
I don't understand how sexual assault is funny. Pepe Le Pew was forcing himself on another being without her consent. That's not funny to me. That's never been funny to me.
But all he was doing was forcing his, shall we say, romantic intentions on them. No, he wasn't like raping them. He wasn't like forcing them anything. He just I want to love you. I love you so much.
He chased them all over the place. He grabbed them against their will. He tried to kiss them.
Are you serious, Charlie?
I'm sorry. If you did that to a woman, you'd be in prison.
Charlie, it's a fucking cartoon.
So why is it okay for a cartoon? That's still sexual assault.
Because it's a cartoon.
And a cat.
I mean, did anybody?
I think bald.
Okay,
fat,
so it's
white
okay
guys,
for cartoons to be racist.
Watch it, Brian.
The Simpsons. I'm gonna start protesting because I'm losing my hair. I'm gaining weight, and the Simpsons, they make a lot of fun of his weight and how stupid he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're not fat, Brian.
I just don't. Charlie, I have to disagree with you. I mean, I don't think I would. Maybe you're looking at a different cartoon than I did. But all he ever did was just caress them, and I want to make love to you, and he brings them flowers, and and of course he's always
mistaken. You'd be okay with some woman,
but it wasn't a business
like chasing after you and grabbing you and trying to kiss you over and over again, despite however many.
But that's a human being, not a fucking cartoon skunk.
I mean,
my daughter watches Paw Patrol, Blaze, Peppa Pig. She doesn't know about Pepe Le Pew or any of the older cartoons. Right. They're all on the new stuff. All the marketing is all for the new stuff. So it wouldn't make a difference to me at all.
Right.
And I'm an adult.
He's not a major Warner Brothers character.
He wasn't a major character, but he certainly was well in the stable, And I always thought they were incredibly funny cartoons,
I did too.
Ridiculously funny.
What?
Yeah.
Ridiculously funny.
Ridiculously funny.
I did too, but I'm not gonna. I understand why it's not. I'm not having a big thing about Pepe Le Pew. He's not a major enough character to, if they wanted to ban Bugs Bunny, then then we'll talk. But Pepe Le Pew was a pretty minor character, and I said my piece about cancel culture before. I think.
Yeah.
James Bond.
It's just the generation gap is all it is.
James Bond put himself over a bunch of women too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but usually they wanted it.
Well,
also James Bond movies have changed over the years too. I mean, he's not slapping women in the ass anymore like he did in whatever that was with Sean Connery.
Yeah, he in the first picture he slaps some woman in the ass. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. It's different now. I mean, James Bond is James Bond.
I
But
think he slapped Moneypenny on the ass. That's who he slapped. The woman.
that might have been. I
Yeah.
don't remember,
Yeah.
but I just remember seeing a clip. I don't know what movie that was.
I mean, look, things were done because of the times they were done in.
Yeah.
You can't turn around and I don't know and rewrite culture.
No, we're not. Nobody's rewriting culture.
Well, yes, they
Nobody's-
are. Yes, they
No.
are. They are eliminating. You got to remember something.
Eliminating
These
Pepe Le
cartoons
Pew.
were masterfully made. They are some of the best cartoons ever created.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
The artist's work went into these things, and now they're being obliterated because somebody suddenly decided that, oh, well, he was the rape skunk. Well,
Birth of a Nation was a great piece of filmmaking too, but
no, there you got to, I think there
That
you.
doesn't mean I have to like it.
yeah.
No, there you have an entirely different set of circumstances.
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's not as severe. I mean,
It's a difference
different
between a
degree.
bunch of people riding on horses dressed as the Ku Klux Klan and a romantic skunk
I'm
that's
not saying
animated.
it's exactly the same, but
But the times are way different now than
And by
then.
the way, I
The
wouldn't
times-
want to change a hair on Birth of the Nation's head, because number one, it represents a certain mentality that was existent at the time.
Right.
The picture was made by a Southerner who thought this was okay, that the Ku Klux Klan were heroes where he was raised.
yeah, and
Yeah.
and if I felt like it, I could. Within
And I want to
a
be
few
able to go
minutes
back.
watch
Wait, okay,
Birth of the
calm
Nation
down,
again.
Dan. Calm down, Dan. Calm down. Calm down. What I was going to say is that that I think Birth of a Nation. We all know it's bad. We all know why it is bad. In fact, even what's his name who made the film? God, my mind's a blank.
D.W. Griffith.
D.W. Griffith, who made
Yeah.
the film. His second film was a film called Intolerance, which he made in order to kind of do a mea culpa for what he had done with Birth of a Nation. Okay?
Well,
So-
I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, well, it's
Yeah.
it's another great movie.
I'm sure it is. Yeah.
Didn't you ever see that scene of going into Babylon? This big, giant set they built in L.A. and gorgeous film. But anyway, it was all about intolerance through the ages, and so he saw the error of his ways. But the fact was that this film was the first time that movies were ever taken seriously. Okay,
Right.
No matter
yeah,
what.
it was the first blockbuster in a way, right?
Yeah, it was a blockbuster. Yeah, Alan.
I'm going to change the subject because I don't even know who the hell you guys are talking about. 15 minutes on a cartoon character? Jesus.
I think it's important.
Oh, well, okay, we'll go back to. Can I?
Oh.
So I have a friend of
I
mine.
mean, cancel culture. The basic thing, cancel culture is a big deal because it's going on, like,
You know what I hate most about cancel culture? The word cancel culture.
Same here. Absolutely.
I think it's just
Sucks.
used too much. Yes,
Yeah.
Vernon.
Did you guys hear Tim Ryan's rant today about the Republicans complaining?
Yeah, he had a fit.
Okay, hold it down, Dan. You're kind of, to begin with, your mic's very loud.
Okay.
What I found interesting.
I'll turn it down.
What I found interesting is that there are people who say that they're formerly Republicans and they are still putting forth this myth that Republicans make up half the voters in this country. They don't. They make up 35 to 40%.
Yeah.
And that's all. But yet they whenever they don't have their way, now they're victims. They're victims of cancel culture. Or if you don't go along with them, then you're not letting the minority get their voice.
Are they saying that's being a victim of cancel culture?
Yes.
I thought when people were trying to ban something, that was being a victim of cancel culture.
Yeah, but they're the ones that are bitching about it. They're acting like they're the ones being canceled. The only one that got canceled was Trump because he lost the fucking election. And he got banned from Twitter because he's an asshole.
the Democrats are trying to get stuff done, and the Republicans are talking on about Dr. Seuss, Dr. Seuss, Dr. Seuss.
That's what Tim Ryan was ranting about.
Right.
He said there's important
Dr.
things to be
Seuss
doing.
was pulled by Dr. Seuss's people.
Yeah.
Right.
That was not anybody calling for Dr. Seuss's books. To be
Was it
canceled.
pulled by his people or by his
Yes.
publisher or by his publisher?
By his,
By his
publisher,
people,
yeah.
his estate.
Yes.
They decided not to print those books anymore because they had racist overtones to them. That was
Yeah.
their decision.
Right.
There was
Okay.
no Democrats that got up and demanded it.
Okay.
I know, but that's the Republicans want you to think that. They want you to think the liberals are trying to cancel Dr. Seuss.
Yeah.
Yes, Vernon.
Well, then Joe Manchin has the balls to get up there and say, well, I don't want to vote against, I don't want to do away with the filibuster because then the minority is not, their voice is not going to be heard. Well, Republicans have been using the filibuster as majority rule for the last 30 to 40 years.
Yeah.
And
100 years.
and the filibuster was created to protect slavery.
Yeah.
So let's get rid of the filibuster.
Yeah.
Okay,
Or
but
he-
on the other hand, it seems as though Joe Biden doesn't want to get rid of the filibuster. He's
He's a creature of the Senate.
He's a creature of the
he's
Senate.
Kind of captured. He's kind of captured into that same thing that Joe Manchin was talking about, but they don't understand the reality of what's going on right now, and that is the Republicans are remaining in control by using the filibuster to block anything.
Yeah, but
And when did the Democrats ever use the filibuster to block anything?
That's true.
I don't know that I can't name a time when they
Only
have.
the Republicans use it.
they
And they use it constantly.
they don't have to
They
get
use-
rid of
yeah.
it. They don't have to completely get rid of it. Just make it harder so that the people, if you're going to filibuster, you can't just fucking leave. You
Yeah.
gotta be there.
You have to
and-
stand there and talk and talk.
Dan, I'm going to have to ask you to kind of hold it down a little bit. I
I'm
know you're
okay.
enthusiastic. But it kind of inhibits other people as well from talking. Okay? It's not a matter of turning down your audio all the way so we can't hear you. It's just a matter of just wait for your best shot, you know? Okay? Where are we? Oh. So
You know, they're doing the Jimmy Stewart style of filibuster, where they got to stay there.
go back to the old-fashioned filibuster where they got to work at it, is what
Oh,
you're
yeah.
saying. Yes, Alan.
Leave.
So yeah, Dan had cut me off, but thank you for coming on the show, Vernon. You changed the subject.
What you didn't
I
like?
don't
I think the Pepe Le
I
Pew
agree.
discussion is an important discussion because it's just another straw that's breaking the camel's back on this whole thing.
But
Everybody's
again,
yawning now.
nobody got up and demanded that. That was Warner Brothers' decision to make it.
I know, and I think it's wrong.
Nobody demanded Pepe Le Pew be pulled.
Right.
They were just
I didn't even demand it. I just
listen.
I didn't like it.
Listen. Pepe Le Pew has been around since at least the 40s. Okay.
First cartoon.
I mean, now your mic's too low, Dan.
Oh.
No, it's not. No, don't say
No,
that.
no, it's not.
I can't hear myself, so whatever.
And my friend's saying like Disney Plus stopped a lot of old early 40s cartoons and even like Peter Pan and stuff like that.
Did they?
It's
Not Peter
old
Pan.
Band Warner Brothers cartoons anyway.
Why,
No. Disney Plus was doing that
Yeah, both of
on
them.
theirs.
Yeah.
Why did they take Peter Pan off?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
Because
I think it's just unique. It's not. It's old story.
Looks like we lost Alan.
Yeah, Alan will be back, I'm sure.
Doesn't matter. I got the DVD. I can watch it anytime I want.
Well, I mean, I just feel that this whole thing with being offended by everything. I mean, come on, what happened in the past happened because it took place in a certain period of time in which there was a culture that accepted that kind of behavior. I mean, Gone with the Wind. Come on,
Well,
well, I never liked Gone with the Wind, to be honest with you. Never thought it was as great a film as everybody else thought it was. especially the second half, which is the first half is kind of history. The second half is pure soap opera, and bad soap opera at that. But nevertheless, do you realize that if it weren't for Gone with the Wind, there'd be no like TCM or Warner Brothers being owning the library over at MGM, because the reason it was bought was because what's his name, Ted Turner.
Ted Turner
loved Gone with the Wind and wanted to own it, so he bought the whole MGM library, and that became the basis for TCM, and it became the first film ever shown on TCM. Now you can say what you want to about Gone with the Wind. It certainly does. It doesn't talk. It doesn't show the horrible side of slavery particularly, but nevertheless, it's history as, to begin with, the most money-making film of all time. In other words, the most admissions sold to any film ever is Gone with the Wind, and the most so it's considered the most popular movie ever made. Do you suddenly get rid of it because it doesn't fit in with today's sensibilities? No.
What's getting rid of it? I mean,
if
you want to see all these things, you can see them. I can go right now and see Song of the South on YouTube.
Oh yes, no, you can't.
Yes, I can, because I looked today.
Well, maybe it's there now, but you can't buy a good copy of Song of the South in this country.
Looking at the different parts of it, I don't know if I want to anyway. So.
Well, let me see. Song of the South, YouTube, Song of the South. Let me see here.
A little segment about the Tar Baby. I don't know if that really.
So they're talking
that's
about
really current for current culture. The Tar Baby.
They're talking about the depiction of Native Americans. So they did Peter Pan, Dumbo, Swiss Family Robinson, and the Aristocats.
Let me see here. Song of the South. The South. Because, let me see here. Song of the South, racial discrimination. It's a discussion about it. Zippity-Doo-Dah, the song. Song of the South, the full movie is there. Yeah. But it's illegal.
It's in parts.
Oh, wait a minute. Full movie? It then says Song of the South trailer, and then it says, who knows? Let me see here. They're singing Zippity-Doo-Dah. No, it's not the full film.
No.
It's not the full film. There's no version of the full film on YouTube. Okay? So, sorry.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
It's close.
Well, that's not close. I have a copy of Song of the South that I got from a laser disc that was sold in Japan. Okay, but that was the only way you could lay your hands on it.
You got a laser disc player?
Huh?
You have a laser disc
Not
player?
Not anymore, but I did.
So you recorded it or something, or transferred it?
Somebody made a copy of it, and I got a copy of it. But you can't buy it. You haven't been able to buy it in this country for years. I will say that what you can do, fortunately or unfortunately, what you can do is you can see it in some kind of version that's been taken from some other source. But getting an actual good copy of Song of the South, Disney won't sell it. For years they've talked about reselling it. One of the articles I wrote for Hustler, when I was writing for Hustler, was something about who killed Uncle Remus. And it was about Song of the South. And my feeling that Song of the South was actually a very good anti-racist movie. And if you had a chance to go see it, you'd see what I was talking about. It takes place in the antebellum South. The black characters, you could say, are stereotyped, but they were black characters that existed back in that time. And it is all about a young boy whose parents don't understand him, don't get along with each other. He feels alienated from them. And he finds this guy named Uncle Remus who tells him these stories about Brer Rabbit and and these are like fables, okay? But at the same time, he takes this boy under his wing and kind of makes him understand what's happening in his personal life with his parents and how to get through it. And he's very supportive of this kid, and it's about the love of this kid and Uncle Remus. It is not anywhere near a terrible picture. In fact, Disney did something absolutely reprehensible to Disney when he made this film. He went out and hired a leftist Jewish screenwriter to write the screenplay because he wanted it to have that kind of sympathy. So to people not see this film, kids go to Disneyland and they have a ride. I can't remember which ride it is, but there's a ride you take and they sing Zippity Doo Dah on the ride. And there are people playing banjos and stuff, or all kind of characters from the movie. But there's no context, and the kids who go to see it don't know what the hell it's about because they never knew these characters ever existed. And it's pretty sad. It's pretty sad. So, I mean, I often felt that the Disney not releasing it was timidity on their part and really white judgment on their part because on top of everything else, and this is the true violation in Disney not showing this film. James Baskett, who played Uncle Remus, won an Academy Award, a special Academy Award for his role in that picture. And he can't be seen. He can only be seen if you go and look at him singing Zippity Doo Dah. They do have that in some of the Disney stuff. But James Baskett's work, completely obliterated. Completely obliterated. So, I mean, I just always had a certain love for that film, even though I don't think it's that great a film. But, Disney tried to do something that was relevant. And he did it for all the right reasons. So, and this was a guy who's pretty much a racist and everything, anti-Semitic. But he hired a Jew to write the goddamn thing, So I made my case for Song of the South. I'm sorry if everybody got bored with that. But
I still liked it when I was a kid.
When you were a kid, you liked it.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
Me too.
Yeah. And everybody refers to the Tar Baby. Well, the Tar Baby isn't... today, Tar Baby has become a negative term. Back then, it was simply the story where they got the idea of a tar baby was from the stories of Uncle Remus. And this particular tale that they tell in the picture, where Brer Rabbit, who outwits Brer Bear and Brer Fox, creates a black tar baby. And when they go to try and punch it or hit it, they get stuck in it. And that's how he wins over, And it's all about the fact that tar sticks. It has nothing to do with, this is what black people look like. Have you ever seen the film, Charlie?
Yeah.
What did you
I saw it
think?
when I was a kid.
What did you think?
I liked it.
See?
Especially like the songs.
Yeah.
With Brer Bear and Brer Fox. Creates a
Alan,
tar baby.
Your audio is up.
Go to try and punch it or hit it, they get stuck.
Alan?
How he
There's an old man walking behind him.
The fact that tar sticks, it has nothing to do with
Alan, can you turn off your audio?
What black people do.
Alan, he didn't like what was going on. When Alan doesn't like what's going on, he protests.
No, there's just one person that every time I raised my hand, started to say something, cut me off, but he's cutting everybody off.
Who would that be?
Reed.
I'm sorry.
You think they're going to cancel
Yeah,
Lolita?
Jeff apologizes.
It wasn't Jeff.
Yes, Vernon.
I'll change the subject again just for Alan's benefit here.
Thank you.
The filibuster, this is something I didn't know. The filibuster was never intended as a normal routine part of the Senate business. And as a matter of fact, according to the Federalist Papers, which the Republicans like to quote, Federalist number 58, the primary drafter was James Madison, defended the document against routine supermajority requirements, either for a quorum or for a decision.
Yeah, if you would have asked James Madison what a filibuster was, he would have said, I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
You know, chapter 20.
There's only a few things that are specifically require a supermajority in the Constitution. One of them is impeachment, in order to remove a president. To remove a member from the body, either the Senate or the House, requires a 2/3 vote. It requires a 2/3 vote to amend the Constitution. Okay. But routine business was always supposed to be a majority rules.
Yeah. And it was.
It was until
they
the
would only
18
have like 3 or 4 filibusters every legislative session. It wasn't until Mitch McConnell that they started doing it for everything.
Well, they started abusing it, is what it was. It actually became part of the Senate rules in 1806, and at that time it was to protect slavery.
Yeah, it was John C. Calhoun who was the first one to start using it, and Calhoun was he was a senator from, I think it was South Carolina.
No, I think you're wrong. He was the lawyer on Amos and Andy.
No, what I'm saying is, yes, it's been there since 1806, but it wasn't used for every fucking bill. Mitch McConnell's the only one that made it all of a sudden have to be used for every fucking bill.
Oh, by the way, you know who played Calhoun on Amos and Andy?
No.
It was the guy that played the voice of Brer Rabbit in Song of the South.
Bring it back full circle, I see.
Yeah, I just thought I'd bring that up.
The House used to have a filibuster, and they ended it in 1888. The House had a filibuster for all that time, and they got rid of it, and that hasn't killed the House. So let's get rid of it in the Senate, too.
Yeah, but how do we get rid of it? You got to get a 2/3 majority, right?
No. A simple majority. A simple majority.
Could get rid of it.
We'll get rid of it.
Well, we've got a simple majority right now. Why don't we get rid of it?
Except for
because you got
Manchin
Manchin and Sinema. They don't want to. They don't think that it should be abolished.
You don't think maybe we could find a couple of Republicans might come over to our side?
Not in a million years.
Nope, Republicans.
Not in this environment.
What I can't.
Not one of them voted for the new stimulus, and that had 83% approval rate of the American populace. 83%, and not a single Republican voted for it.
You know, that's the part I don't understand. Don't they realize that if 83% of the American public was for that bill, that it's in their best interest to vote for it?
Well,
they
75%.
They don't care.
75% of the American voting public want to have reasonable gun control.
Yeah.
Right.
But the NRA keeps these Republicans with donations and such, keeps the Republicans scared to death.
Alan, you've got your mic off, but you're talking. What's he? I guess maybe he's on a call or something. Yes, Jeff.
I think it's not just what these senators have to say. It's often what they can affect them bringing in money for the when they're going to be reelected.
Well, I just think it's ridiculous that that the Republicans have this attitude that if the Democrats want something, then you vote against it automatically, no matter what it is.
Right.
Well, I don't.
I mean, you could vote on Taco Tuesdays, and they would vote against it if the Democrats wanted Taco Tuesdays.
Right. Yeah.
I don't think
and in fairness, vice versa too, mostly. But
well, just look at the Affordable Care Act. The Republicans didn't support the Affordable Care Act, and it was the entire legislation was based on Romney Care in Massachusetts.
I don't even think the Republican Party is a political party anymore. It's a fucking Trump cult,
Yeah, at this point it is.
Yeah, and look, Trump's even saying, look, you can't use my name or my face in your advertising. Any money that's going to be raised is going through me. That's how he is. It's
his legal defense fund.
Well,
legal defense fund.
I
He's
think
building it up.
But yes, and I think he wants to use the money for personal reasons, not for It's the only. Let's face it, none of his businesses are making money.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so
Right.
yeah. What's with
he's
Alan? He's talking to somebody, but he's not talking to us.
I'm gonna Phil.
Trump's about to have a shitstorm of legal fees too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. He's.
I hope that fucker goes to jail so bad. And
Yeah.
Well,
Everybody-
Georgia.
I would just prefer he go away and not
No, I
bother
wouldn't.
us anymore.
the only way he's going to go away
He's
is
got to go to jail, though.
Yeah.
He's got to be locked up because we can't have this guy be free as president for this country.
He's gonna match his orange jumpsuit pretty nice though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gonna be orange is the new orange.
Orange and orange.
Orange is the
size.
new orange.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know. I just, it just everything is gotten to the point where it just really gets to me now, and I'm just tired of just everything's going on. Nobody is civil. Nobody is being decent to each other. I mean, it's incivility that goes on. Yes, Vernon.
I don't know if I told you guys or not, but my car got
Turn your mic
stolen.
on, Alan.
What?
My car got stolen.
What did you say?
Really, the whole car?
Turn
Yeah.
your mic on, Alan.
No, only part of the
He's
car.
got his mic on now. Yeah. What did you say, Alan?
No, he said his car got stolen, and somebody said the whole car, and I said no, only part of the car.
Well,
Wait a minute, you
but
said your
what
car-
the part of the story I wanted to relate was I was working on Sunday
Yeah.
at Home Depot, and during my lunch break, I get this phone call from a 513 area code, which is Cincinnati, Ohio, and I didn't recognize it, so I didn't answer it. Well, as soon as it went to voicemail, it immediately rang again, and I didn't answer it the second time. So immediately it rang the third time, so I answered it, and it was a police officer on his cell phone. He had found my car. And he was calling me to tell me that he had found my car. And he said, do you want to come and get it now, or should I have it towed to the impound lot? And I said, well, will there be any fees if it's towed? Because I'm at work right now. And he said, no, since you were a victim, there would be no fees.
Okay.
So I went and got it on Monday. But now I got to have it fumigated because whoever stole it smoked about 20 packs of cigarettes inside it.
I'm sure that's not all they smoke in there.
Well,
how many hours was it gone?
It was gone for 17 days.
Oh man.
And
I thought it was gone when you were at lunch.
Tell you the car was gone.
I knew the car was gone the morning that it was stolen.
Was anything else done to it besides the cigarette smoke?
They stole my tools out of the trunk that I used to work with Habitat, but somebody said, well, it was probably a drug run, and I believe that now because I always reset the trip odometer when I fill it up with gas, and I had done that before the snowstorm hit that happened. They stole it right after the 6 inches of snow fell, and I had a car cover on it, and they lifted that 6 inches of snow off with the car cover and left the car cover and drove off. And it had 975 miles on it when I picked it up at impound.
Wow.
Did they arrest anybody?
Not yet.
They probably won't. I mean,
there is a detective on the case, has been assigned to the case, but I've called him twice and he's never called me back.
They're not going to find out who did it.
Yeah.
You just be glad you got the car back.
No, right. Yeah.
I'll give you.
And
all
be
the
glad.
warning.
Be glad the guy who stole it's going to get lung cancer. So
Yeah.
Yes, Alan.
I'll give you all a warning. If you ever have your car stolen and it gets recovered, do not let the police take fingerprints from the inside. They use a fine powder. It's graphite to get fingerprints off of stuff, and that powder will blow on you for 7 years. Whenever you turn the air conditioner on to the heat, they'll say, "Can we take fingerprints?" Nope. Let them take the fingerprints off the outside. They'll end up with everybody's, including their own, probably. But
Well,
inside is a mess.
Not only am I going to get the car cleaned inside and out, I'm going to change the locks. That's $800 right there.
Well, your insurance
Because-
should cover that, right?
Well, it'll cover the minus the deductible. It will, but they figured out a way to get a key for that car because they did not jimmy the ignition.
So you still have your keys for it.
I do.
What type of car is it?
It's a Honda Civic.
So the people that go around steal cars, they don't have the actual key. They have
No, they use a Slim Jim or something, don't they?
They have, well, that's one way, but that doesn't start the car. But they have a bunch of keys to different Hondas, and they keep sticking them in the door until they get the one that's close enough and jiggle it around.
Is it
And
electronic
And
situation?
the police call them jigglers because people jiggle it. Oh, that doesn't work. We'll try the next one. And sometimes, Honda can only have so many, and it'll be close, and they'll steal the car.
So there are only a certain number of keys for a particular Honda made.
I don't know. I think that, if you get a key that's real close, a cut that's close,
Yeah, but if you go to get a key for your car, I think they look at the key you have and it's got a number on it, and they simply match it to that number.
Sure.
Yeah, mine has a chip in the key, and that chip has to match the electronic detector in the dash.
And they got past that. Wow.
Yeah, they got past that.
Wow.
Somehow.
Wow. Yes, Brian.
I'd like to change the subject. So, Brendan, how are they doing breaks at Home Depot right now? Like our break times at our work, we have all the break room is closed. We can get coffee and get your food, and you cannot eat in there at all. You have to take breaks in their cars.
We could take breaks in there, but at one time, they had tables where 4 people could sit at a table. Now you can only have one person sitting at a table at a time, and the tables are more than 6 feet apart.
Do they have plastic in between people?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you do at your place? You just don't let them use the break room, or can they go into the break room to buy what they want to buy and then get the hell out of there?
Yeah, exactly. So they do have this outside area, and it's stupid, right? It's like the outdoor dining where it's sort of like a tent, and they have only one table, 2 people with the plastic, like you're visiting your friend in jail.
Can't people eat?
I always go up to the plastic when people are there and put my hand up there.
Can't people?
We'll get you out. We'll get your bail money.
Can't people
really make people go outside if they want to smoke?
Can't people eat at their desks?
Well, you have all the manufacturing people who work on the lines, so we have like 500.
Are the bathrooms open, Brian?
What was that?
Are the bathrooms open?
Yep.
Wow.
So,
That's sarcastic. There you go.
Strange world.
Uh-oh, we're doing the labels tonight. I forgot to make mine up.
Oh,
I did.
I got my labels.
I think Charlie had the best luck on labels last week.
Charlie had the best labels because he had a good font.
Yeah, well, I didn't get trained by you.
You were font impaired.
I am. I'm font impaired.
Well, I'll tell you what you use. You go to get font. I think Helvetica works pretty well, doesn't it?
this one is good. That's a good font.
Yeah, well, that's
a good font.
Which font is that? Yeah, which
I
font?
don't know.
Which font
The
is that?
default font.
That could be Futura. It could be.
Good.
Mine was Calibri.
Calibri.
Yeah, Calibri. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, on the next round, I will. I'll get your input, Alex.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
In the meantime, you have to suffer. I mean, these are actually laminated.
Oh wow, you really were serious, weren't
Well,
you?
I happen to have a laminator.
You have a laminator, use it,
Well, we use it. I mean, Well, there's the 6 different types of marijuana and a couple different types of methamphetamine, and you don't want the menus disappearing, so you just laminate them.
What? Wait a minute, I don't get what you just said.
Complete BS.
Complete BS.
Well, another sarcastic comment. Never mind.
Yeah.
That's
I have
another
a
reason.
laminator in any case.
That's another reason I want to get my car cleaned because I don't know what kind of residue might be all over the seats.
They were partying in there probably.
Probably doing horrible things like smoking marijuana.
Well, he would have smelled the pot if it were in there. You know what pot smells like.
I don't know. Cigarettes are pretty
Take
powerful.
a black light to
Okay,
it.
wait a minute. Jeffrey has his hand up, and then John Larkin.
Yeah, I have one more car thing, and that is my car was not stolen, but the exhaust was stolen.
Oh, my next door neighbor. My next door neighbor had his catalytic converter cut off his
That's
car.
what it is. They're
The
valuable.
next night. The next night after my car was stolen, his catalytic converter was stolen.
They're very
There you go.
expensive, aren't they?
You might be going
Very. They have rare metals in them, so they steal them.
Yeah, they're worth a
It
lot of
takes
money.
like $2,000 to repair them.
Wow.
Wow.
Time to move out of
God, I'm
Connecticut.
glad I don't own a car because I don't have to
That's
go
right.
through any of this.
Hey, Vernon, where are you located? Are you close to Cincinnati?
No, I'm in Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh, okay.
That's
so-
close to Cincinnati.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
close
About
enough.
2
but I
hours.
guess it's like a joyride.
It's about 2 hours. About
Yeah.
2 hours.
Yeah.
Right.
And tell them who your senators are.
Oh God.
Mitch McConnell and Rand Paul.
Ooh,
Yeah.
man, that's
I'm sorry for you.
that's
Oh,
a
you poor
that's
guy.
a dufecta. We're,
That's
oh,
right.
Jesus,
Man.
horrible.
Well, Rand Paul's up for re-election in 2022, so
Yeah. Do you think he'll get reelected?
probably.
Yeah, probably.
He came in. He
Donald
came.
did.
Yeah.
Them good old
Rand,
boys love Rand Paul.
Rand Paul came in with the Tea Party crowd in 2010.
Yeah, yeah. Are they around anymore?
No.
What
Well,
happened to them? They were the
they're
flavor of
Trump
the, they were
supporters.
the flavor
They're
of the
Trump
year,
supporters.
right?
They became Trumpers.
Yeah.
They became Trumpers.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing. They're the old Dixiecrats. They became the Tea Party, and
So did anybody see this thing on the internet? The the Milwaukee Bucks. You know how at those NBA things where they have the kiss screen, the kiss cam,
Mhm.
Oh,
and they put
yeah.
people up there and you got to kiss. Well, the Milwaukee Bucks did the hand sanitizers screen.
Yes,
And-
yes. They had that. They had that on John Oliver's show
Yeah.
this week, and they kept
Yeah.
spritzing him with the hand sanitizer.
It looked very.
But they had they
Yeah.
had this cam, and then they would spritz the
Yeah.
lotion on people.
Yeah, and it didn't look like lotion.
It looked like somebody referred to it as the jizz cam.
Yeah.
yeah.
I heard that they sprayed it in Vernon's car.
They couldn't smell any worse.
They got rid of that in one night.
So
It's just like, did you hear what Amazon did? They created this new logo of a box with a piece of tape, but the tape looked like Hitler's mustache, so they got rid of that really quick.
Mustache, yeah.
wow. Well, I'm telling you, I'm so happy that I have my second shot, and that
Me
all the
too.
people I know who have had their second shot, I'm thinking of just holding a party here, inviting people over, just so we can all be together in the same
Yeah.
place. You and Pam could come down, Jeff.
Well, Pam, she just
I'll be
got
over.
her first one.
She just got her first one. Okay,
Tomorrow night.
we're not going to do it tomorrow.
I know that, but
Tomorrow night I get my second.
Party
You
at
get to
Alex's house.
Yeah. All
yeah,
right.
no, but
Friday then, probably.
no, but you could,
I thought we were going there for Thanksgiving, Alex.
yeah, you can come for Thanksgiving, sure.
Okay, we're Joel bring covered dish.
But, Trucker Steve, drive your truck past our place, stop, have dinner, and go
Pick up
on your
everybody.
merry way.
Take the train. I have to take the train.
Wait a minute. Trucker Steve hasn't had his shots yet.
Oh.
I'm getting to feel like a Labrador Retriever. I've had my shots. Yeah,
Distemper.
yeah. But Jeff's had his, and
I had mine. I had my distemper shots.
do you have both of your shots so far?
Yeah.
Okay. And Vernon's about to have his second shot soon.
No, I've had my second one.
Oh, you've had the second one.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can all hang out. See, I mean, the thing
All right.
is that the CDC has now said that if you've had both shots, you can hang out with other people who've had both shots.
Yeah.
And that kind of makes me feel good. But here's the thing. My friend Shecky has had both shots, and I haven't seen Shecky in a year, and I would like to see Shecky. So I was thinking, get on the subway as I always did, and go out to see Shecky. There's just one little problem Marjorie brought up today.
The
She heard from
subway.
friends. Well, no, the subway, it could even have people with COVID on there. It doesn't matter. I'm protected. I'm going to have the mask and I'm protected.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
But they say that there are a lot of muggings
Oh,
and there are a lot of terrible people in the subways now.
It
And
came
it's
back.
kind of a dangerous
Oh.
thing to take a subway. So Marjorie said, if I were you, I wouldn't do it. What, I got to wait another year to see Shecky?
I'll send you, Alex. I'll send you a hat like the one I'm wearing.
Right.
Yeah.
Just take a car out there, Alex. You can afford it.
Yeah, really. With
Yeah.
all your money.
Right. I don't know how much it would cost me to get out there. Probably a
Take
lot.
an Uber.
Huh? Yeah, an Uber. It'll cost me $100 each way.
I don't know how far he lives.
$100.
I don't know. How
You
much are
probably get to
Ubers?
Jeff's house in an Uber for $100.
Well, we're talking about Shecky lives out in Queens.
Get a flip car.
Huh?
Flip cars are only like $8 an hour.
Well, somebody said that the guy that stole my car just couldn't afford Uber.
That's one of those Southern jokes.
Yeah, but the thing is, the subways are supposedly, you know, as somebody said, they took the subways recently, and there are just a lot of terrible people down there.
No
You
kidding.
know, so, you know, if it isn't one thing, it's another. I just want life to get back to some kind of semblance of normal.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, I'm so sick
How
of
about
this.
if you get a cop to go with you?
Yeah, that's good. Come visit me, Alan.
No problem.
You know, the thing is that that I'm just, I don't know, I'm just tired all the time and everything. And walking, I walk down to the supermarket and I come back and I'm tired. You know, I've just so been indoors for like so long that I haven't been able to do anything with this body, and it's starting to atrophy. So I don't know.
Take walks. That's what I did.
Yeah, once the weather changes. Today it was really nice.
Yeah.
That's why I went out.
true.
But most of the time it's been like in the 30s and 20s, and I don't want to walk
We're
in
just
that.
getting back into walking season.
Yes, folks, I'm lazy. Okay,
I am too.
you know.
I'm right there with you.
Some
Well,
people would call
you-
that
you know,
critique.
and you know, I'm also a year older than when this
Than
whole thing
Dan?
started. Huh?
You're a year older than Dan?
Yes. No, I'm a year older than I was
okay.
when the COVID thing started.
Yep, we all are.
So, you know, all the things I was doing, and I've had some, you know, work done on me, like the prostate stuff and all of that. So, you know, all of that adds up, and you just kind of tired, and
Say goodbye.
you know. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
there we
Uh-oh.
go.
Oh,
Oh, there
It's
we
pretty
go.
late.
Hi, how are you tonight, Adrian?
Here's our mascot.
Good.
Hello.
All of a sudden, why is it she said she isn't shy when she first hits the camera, and then
Yeah.
she gets shy.
Then she sees herself, I think, on the camera. It's on the computer.
Oh,
See that lovely girl on the camera? Huh? Isn't she pretty?
yeah.
Yeah, she's really pretty. Boy, are you going to have a lot of work to do when she gets to be in her teens. Get yourself
When she's 40, I'll be okay with it.
yeah, but get yourself a baseball bat. I think you're going to need it, you know. Anyway, let's see here. I think it's time to go. Been nice. Been nice having all you guys here, and you know, we'll do it again tomorrow night if you want to. Trucker Steve, good to have you here. Always nice to see you and your dog Rocky.
Yep.
And is Rocky there at all? No, I guess not. Oh, there he is. See, there's Doggy. Okay, and thank you very much, Brian, and thank you very much, Adrian. God, she gets prettier every time we see her. Charlie Wallace, thank you, John Larkin, thank you to Jeffrey Stein, thank you to Dan Meyer. Vernon, always a pleasure to have you here, and Alan, always great to have you here. And I would like you all to kind of give a big wave goodbye. I'll give a big wave goodbye back. How's that? Okay, there we go. That's our citizen panel for tonight as they go off into the sunset, ladies and gentlemen. But you know, there's more coming right up with Jack Bishop, and he's got the intersection. He'll be taking your calls on Skype at GabNet Live. I will be back again tomorrow night, right after the sports show. The sports show is on first, and then I come on at 10:30 Eastern Daylight Time, Eastern Standard Time. Daylight starts next week, Eastern Standard Time, yeah, it's pretty cool. And in the meantime, as always, if you see her, tell her I love her. And by the way, be safe out there and wear a mask. Good night, everybody. Have a nice night.